Hello everyone, welcome back to another devlog of my game Project Giant Mech. These last 2 months were a bit hectic as I had to take care of some other matter, but nevertheless I tried to make it as fruitful as possible. Unfortunately, I could not get the Steam page up because I feel like there are certain main features that needs to be done first, especially the shop system. Getting the shop system done would be a huge achievement for the project, as that will allow the player to buy new items, upgrade them, and even customize player armors. Since this is also one of the main features, I would need to show that in the Steam page screenshots. I have already started to work on this feature and will explain it later in the video. For those that are new to the channel, I am Kamran Wali and I am solo developing my game Project Giant Mech, which is a first-person shooter game with inspiration from Doom Eternal and EDF5 games. I'm trying to make the game fast-paced as Doom Eternal and give giant mechs and enemies like EDF5. There will be campaigns, players loadout customization, upgrades, and weapon selection. Also, Project Giant Mech is not the name of the game. I have come up with the name for the game and will announce it once I have the Steam page up. If you guys want to know more about the playstyle of the game, then I suggest you to check out my previous devlogs of the project so that you will get a better idea. Alright, the first task I did during the last 2 months is to add the shop area, or what I like to call is the interior city. This is the place where the personnel of the aircraft carrier gets to relax and enjoy. The main reason for adding this place is to allow the player to take a break after intense battles, especially in the Sobura park. This is also the area where the player can buy new items, upgrade them, and customize the player's loadout. This area is still work in progress, but let me briefly show and explain what I have added here. I have added a simple water fountain to the park. I used the water shader to create the waterfall effect and the shallow water effect of the fountain. Also added a VFX that shows water coming out of the fountain. To me, it felt like the fountain was missing something or felt empty. So I created a toy version of the aircraft carrier, which is just a smaller version of the aircraft carrier with less polygons. Then I made the toy aircraft carrier go in circle in the fountain. For now, this looks and feels okay to me. I have also added some butterfly VFX in the Sobura park area. Wanted to add a little bit of life in the park. These butterflies can also move around inside the park. I used a waypoint system to allow the butterflies to move around, and each time a random waypoint is selected. Really like how the butterfly VFX came out looking. If you haven't noticed, the butterflies have a little bit of glow effect. To achieve this, I had to make a custom shader for the particle system, which would use vertex coloring to color the object. Here is the shader graph if anyone is interested to know. And because of vertex coloring, I can then use the particle system's color to give color and glow to the butterflies. I have also added bees VFX to the beehives. This is a simple, straightforward particle system that spawns bee particles with texture sheet animation. The part that makes it unique is that I have used pooling system to show the bees VFX. Every time the player comes near a beehive, a bee VFX will be shown from the pool. This helps a lot with the performance of the game. The tree leaves falling VFX was already done before in the combat scenes. So I added them here and updated them a bit to fit the theme of the area. Just like bees VFX, the leaves falling VFX also uses pooling system to show the VFX only around the player. This helps to give the illusion that there are many leaves falling VFX and at the same time helps with the performance of the game. I have added some Firefly VFX on some object of interest in the shop area. These objects will give a little bit of history of the game. In future, we'll add some interactive plaques to the objects so that when the player interacts with the plaques, a little bit of description of the object is shown. I was not planning on adding any grass to the park area, but while playing around the place, it desperately needed some grass. I tried making my own grass shader and grass 3D models, but it would not just fit the theme of the game and the park. It would either look too realistic or too cartoonish and would have a negative impact on the performance. And those who have been following me for a while knows that I don't like any negative impact on the performance. So I bought a shader graph from the Unity asset store called Brute Force Grass Shader. After tweaking it around a bit, I got the grass I was looking for. This grass shader is very simple to use, and I really like that it uses height map to show the grass, which really helps in showing the fade between the grass and the ground. If any one of you are interested in the grass shader, then I have shared the link to the Brute Force Grass Shader in the description below. Later down the line, I will add some NPCs roaming around the area, maybe even allow some of them to be interactable. This will definitely add more life to the area. Alright, so let's talk about the shop system. At the moment, the shop system is in its early stages. These 4 buildings will be the different shops where the player will be able to buy items from. Later on, the front area of the shop will have the shopkeeper NPC. Interacting with them will open up the shop UI where the player will be able to buy items. For now, this is how the UI of the shop looks like. It is still work in progress and have high chance of changes being made. The big square box in the right side is the preview window where it will show the objects. And by objects it could be items on the player like armors or items on its own like weapons. You probably also have noticed that there are upgrade buttons. For now, I am thinking about allowing upgrades to be done 6 times per stat. Even though there are 5 upgradable squares, the 6th upgrade is the max one, which will remove the square UIs and replace it with some other UI. Also, these are not the only 2 stats. Here is a list of stats that I would use in my game, but there is a low chance that it may change in future. For this shop system to work, I would need some items in the game. So I have started to make the armors for the player, which is the hardest part to do for me. I figured getting the hardest part done first will be good for me. Here are some of the armor sets that I have done. Also, I have made sure that the armors are mixable, meaning you can use different armor types at the same time and are not limited to only using one armor set at a time. Here is the latest unfinished armor that I was working on. The different color of the armor means different depth layers of the armor. This later helps me to color the armor in a different grayish color, which in turn will later help me in color customization in the game. Well, that is the idea for now. Also, I have finally finished the fighter plane background animation for the command center. Now there is a full cycle of planes taking off one by one. Also added some VFX to the fighter planes to make it look a bit better when flying away. The fighter plane animation really looks good to me and adds a bit of life and activity in the background. I really like how the plane takeoff looks from inside the command center as well. Later, I was thinking of adding some camera views of the planes taking off in the window screen and maybe in some monitors as well. Alright, that is it for this devlog. By next devlog, I will try to finish up the shop system. That will be a huge achievement for the project once that feature is done. I will also try to get the Steam page up as well, but I also want to make sure that some of the other main features are done as well so that I can show it in the screenshots. Also, as always, we'll try to fix some bugs and performance issues. And since I publish a devlog after every 2 months, then that means the next devlog hopefully will be published next year. And also the next devlog will mark the 2nd anniversary of the project, which I am really looking forward to. Alright, I am very grateful that you all came so far into the video. Please like and subscribe, that will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Tell me what you think about the progress of the game thus far in the comment section below. See you all in the next devlog. Take care and stay safe. K out.